Fuck you too!
What's up, dirty dogs?
What up, everybody? It's good to see you. Good morning. Good morning.
For Padilla move.
They started. They are early.
Soto Martinez, seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday, and it's time for the flag salute.
Very good. If everyone could please rise for
wow,
the flag salute.
Ian!
Like to ask
impressive.
to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dang, Ian. Let's go. Thank you so much, Ian. You rock, man. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hopefully you didn't wash away in the storms. I don't know. Are you guys getting storms down there, Ian? I mean, we got some pretty good rain here. What happened to the... Did they mute it? They must have muted it. How did they mute it? The fuck? Bro, they muted it. What the fuck? Just light rain? What the hell?
Those items are now before us. Do members have
sorry, that was
any
on
of
mine.
those
I
items
don't
that
know
they'd like to call
how
special?
I muted it. All right, we're good. Yeah, it rained pretty good here. Took a picture of a nice rainbow, double rainbow yesterday, almost
Mr. President,
a solid one with a little double.
On the desk for comments
pretty
by
cool.
Councilmember Blumenfield.
Very
don't get
good.
to see that very often.
Without
What's up,
objection,
Mr.
that'll be
Snooker?
the order. And
What's up,
also
Lit Dad?
item number 2.
Just light rain.
Councilmember
Huh?
Rodriguez asked that we hold item 2 on the desk for comments as well.
One of it's making its way there. I mean, this was a pretty good one.
Any items available at this point, Mr. Clerk, for us to vote on? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, Randy, that was me. I mean, they need to fire him anyways, but yeah, that was me, I guess. I don't know how I muted it.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Juan.
Any
Hi,
other
Keith,
specials
Matt,
members?
Spooky, Roxanne, Randy,
Seeing none,
Billy,
Mr. Clerk, is there
T.E.,
anything
Art,
available for us to vote on at
Robin,
this point?
Satan.
Mr. President, there are no agenda items that the council can vote
What's up,
on
Ricky,
at this
James,
time. The
Vito,
council may now
Blushing,
proceed to public comment
Dinner?
for agenda items.
Yeah, double bow.
Okay, very good. So
Double
let's go ahead
rainbow.
and read in the instructions, please, for public comment.
And I'm
we'll
loading it
begin
up
that portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID.
Cali Mayor, thank you so much. You rock. You guys are too awesome, man. Too awesome.
To see you wiggle, wiggle, for sure.
Call 669
Already Voltroning me out. Thank you, Callie. Thank you, Ian.
160-535-8466 and then press pound.
We
Then
haven't
press pound
started
again when
yet.
prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 19.
Oh, yeah, I had a pretty good weekend.
Moose,
Moose, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for 35 months. Dang. Dang, Moose. Thank you so much. Welcome back for more time. Excited about your Lions. Let's go. They're playing well.
Up to 3 minutes total for the
Got to get all my what do you call it up? My golf cards.
When speaking on the agenda
Oh, it's your birthday, Yo-Yo? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, you thing from another world, you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
At that point,
Happy
you need to keep
birthday!
immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or
They
you
are
go
hot
straight off
tonight.
topic, you
Or
will
today, I
forfeit
guess
the
I
rest
should
of your
say.
speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker.
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I
Items
hung out with the
for public comment
CHP.
today
Shout
are
out to the
items
Chippies,
1
man.
through
Shout out to
17, all items
Josh,
on the agenda.
Gil, and of
Members
course
of the
Patricia.
public may
Thank you
also
so much
speak
for the
up to
dinner
3 minutes
and the
for general
awesome
public
gift.
comment, which will be held at the end of the
Look at
meeting.
this, guys.
During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items or anything else
Hold on,
in
let
the
me
city's
put
subject
on this
matter
one.
jurisdiction.
Yeah. Look at that. Pretty cool, man. Pretty darn
So,
cool.
council staff will prompt you once
Put this
more.
back on the wall
At that
now.
point, you need to immediately unmute yourself, or you'll unfortunately
Thank you
forfeit
again,
your time
Patricia,
and
you
will move
rock.
on to the
Thanks,
next
Josh.
speaker. Finally, because
Thanks,
of a brief
Gil.
time
Sorry,
delay
guys.
between the live meeting and the broadcast, 2 things are
And
important.
yeah, had a good
First, while you're
time.
waiting
Watch
for
some
your turn to
rain.
speak, keep one ear to the phone so you hear
Watch
in real
some
time
football.
when it's your turn to press star 6. Second, if you're listening to the meeting on other devices, please turn down the volume on those devices immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the time delay and feedback,
It is
will cause
cool,
a
huh?
great deal of confusion if you continue
Yeah, I
to
put
listen
it on the
other
wall over here
devices.
next to Herman. Gotta put it back now.
All right. Thank you very much.
But,
so
yeah.
I'm going to take public comment on agenda items first here in the council chamber.
Enjoyed rain.
So I'm
Can't
gonna
not
call a
enjoy the
series of names.
rain.
As I call your name, please move to the left-hand side of the chambers. You don't need to speak in the order that I call you.
Stinks
but
is in the
I would
front
ask
room.
that you not line up until I do call your name. So,
Oh, they
we'll
save a
take
kitten
Myra
over there?
Baldwin,
Yeah, shout out to that.
Arnold
man.
Sachs,
Oh, yeah.
Harriet Elliott, Andrew Graebner, Andrew Ruddick,
We already
and
have
Adam Smith.
All right, so we have two regulars. We got and might as well get going. Here we go, guys. Under over 20, because he's going to get a few minutes here. Under over 20. Hurry.
Speaker, please remind us of the name you signed up under and which items you'd like to speak to.
You know who I am. I signed up for like 2, 12, 17. There's a bunch of items. Just
You'll have 3 minutes.
Hi, Calamity Girl.
okay.
That was cool,
So
huh?
We have item 2. That's extending the state of emergency on inside for homelessness and inside starving. That's
Hung out with
one
the
where
Deftones,
mayor
hung out with my
declared a
bag
state
bro
of
Stefan,
emergency,
too,
and then
on
you all
Sunday.
promptly ended the eviction moratorium. Because, that's the first thing to do. When the house is on fire, what do? You light another match and, and just make sure that the house completely burns down. That's your strategy to homelessness. So I really hope you all are proud of it. And inside starving's just putting people in, hotel rooms for, cheap motels for, at really expensive inflated costs so Karen Bass can enrich her developer buddies. It's not about getting people housing and services. Let's see, we have... hang on.
5. How did I miss 5 of them?
Item 12.
Oh, wait, I missed 3.
That's a street banner.
It says
campaign
not
for Black History
don't count.
Month.
Just
That goes along great with item 13, giving money for overtime money for cops to go shoot and assault black people. Sponsored by Kevin De Leon,
What
who
a
you
dumb
all
white
still
liberal.
welcome on the council. Kevin De Leon, the same guy who made anti-black comments on a leaked recording and intentionally worked to disenfranchise them in the redistricting process, something some of you are probably also involved in too. But definitely make
Speaker,
sure
you
you...
need to speak to one of the items on
I'm
the agenda.
speaking to the Black History Month one. I'm talking about how none of you actually care about black people. So yeah. So vote and no on 13. Don't give money to the cops, especially not from Kevin De Leon. Item 15, we have putting Mark Ruffalo on the Walk of Fame. Maybe a better way to honor Mark Ruffalo is to follow his ideals and how he, he's calling for he's supporting some great stuff, but you're just putting him on the Walk of Fame. Why don't you honor him by calling for a ceasefire like he's been calling for? That would be a better way to honor him than just giving him a star on the Walk of Fame. We have item 16, more funding for inside starving. Item 17, this one looks good. Eviction protections for tenants who have dogs and such. It would be really cruel to allow landlords to evict people or force them to give up their dogs because of that.
24 even at my count. That was good. 24 I mean, you guys say I missed a couple. Gotta remember, he'll say and I don't count the only the
until we've had an opportunity to
Just so
vote
we're
on some
clear.
agenda items. So I apologize.
So either way, it was over.
Ms. Elliott, good morning.
He packed so many in that 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, which items would you like to speak on?
Item 1.
Was
about
going fast.
homelessness.
Okay, you'll have 1 minute.
I have no criticism of Nithya at all, but I wish that they would tell us about Carter, the judge who came up with, he says, 300,000 beds, and also Mitchell. And if you could give us a report on that, I would appreciate that. Just a point of order. If you wonder what Matrix Deciphered has to do with all this, go watch Matrix. If you didn't watch Matrix about 1998,
I didn't.
you
I'm lost.
would understand the connection.
Okay,
and
so I don't.
I'm still hoping you read this book. It has nothing controversial in it. It's not controversial. This guy is controversial. This guy's not controversial. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
That chick is crazy.
Item number 15.
Not right.
You'll have 1 minute.
Mentally ill.
I think Oscar nominee Mark Ruffalo might agree that the city of Los Angeles should finally exercise its authority to rescind the honorific to a man who said last night in New Hampshire again that he'd release January 6th criminals.
Oh, here we
I
go.
think Mark Ruffalo might agree that remaining silent on a position concerning city recognition on city-owned property, policies clearly outlined in the council file listed in the Bureau of Engineering's report of this item, is ignoring the reality of your office. Please vote yes on this item and introduce language, please, or direct the city attorney to introduce language to remove Donald Trump's name from honor on our sidewalk. Thank you.
Emotional
Next
damage.
speaker.
This dude comes here every time just to tell us to keep taking off the star for Donald Trump. Why don't you just take it off yourself? Have some balls, homie. But I forgot, your side
morning.
doesn't have any
Good
balls.
morning.
Or
My
spine,
name's
or
Adam. I'm
backbone.
from the LA CAN Human and Civil Rights Committee to speak on number 2, 13, and 16.
You'll have 3 minutes.
Great. In the past weeks, we've heard different council members'
Hi,
questions
Sassy.
and critiques of Inside Safe. Even some with vitriolic Willie Horton-style scare rants seemingly ascribing
Vitriolic.
criminality to all unhoused people.
Like that.
We've even heard consummate unprofessional politician and renowned racist Kevin De Leon talk about stretching the dollar, ostensibly to speak to the urgent need to address the conditions that are quite literally killing 6 unhoused people across Los Angeles daily. When we're hearing all of this, I
Hi,
think
Tai
it's
Chi.
important to question
Good afternoon.
discretionary spending on LAPD overtime when we're in the middle of a crisis that we hear so many of you speak to wanting to address, particularly when he is seemingly seeking campaign funding from people arrested for setting an encampment on fire in Eagle Rock last year. I understand that the district can do with discretionary funding what they want,
What's up, Big Chief?
but more than half of this council, Krikorian, Blumenfield, Harris-Dawson, Rahman, Rodriguez, Lee, Hernandez,
Thanks,
Soto
Shepty.
Martinez, called on De Leon to resign and now silently vote alongside motions. De Leon told the press regarding this 100K in LAPD overtime, and I quote, "We appreciate the LAPD's dedication. We also recognize the importance to provide them with the resources they need to do their job," end quote. If the $5.5 million per day in LAPD's operating budget isn't enough to, quote, do their job, who is going to provide metrics on whether or not this extra 100K for overtime will be what they, quote, need to do their job? How else could we stretch discretionary or any dollars to actually address
Speaker,
the needs
you
of the
should move on to
community
your next item.
rather than the whims of this council?
Shout out to him. You're too smart to not know, my
As our
friend.
next
And
speaker is
shout out to
coming up,
everybody
but
shitting
also-
on the sidewalk.
Someone who signed up as Lieutenant Sergeant, please.
Lieutenant Sergeant.
Good morning.
Oh, that's my homeboy.
Good morning, sir.
Shit,
How
yeah.
are you today?
Look at him.
Speaker, which
There
item
he
would you
goes,
like to
top
speak
prayer
to?
hater.
Public comment, number 1, number 2, number 12, and number 14.
You'll have 3 minutes, and you can take. You'll be able to give general public comment at the end of the meeting.
At the end of the meeting, so my 3 minutes are on the items on the agenda?
Yes.
Okay. Item number 1 refers to the TEFRA Act of 1982, where you're supposed to be held accountable.
Hi, Jennifer.
When unfortunately, after that act was passed by the state of California, nobody was held accountable. That's the great thing about the state of California. Who gives a shit? The gentleman was mentioning about the police budget, about $5 million a day. The county's budget is $1 billion every day, 30 days a month, 31 days in some month, 30 days. $1 billion every day, $4 billion a month, $4 billion, and bitching about the city. Oh, and this article number 2, housing and homelessness. When the LA Times mentions county has a new tool to reduce homeless camps, I guess why should they even publish this fucking shit rag when they talk about homeless and you talk about homelessness? How fucking stupid is that? That's the dumbest shit ever. How stupid are you? You can't even grade. LAUSD is grading on a 20%. You're grading on a lower percent than that. Holy shit. This gentleman writes about how racist the KKK is. And this is the only council meeting that had an African American dressed up as a KKK Grand Wizard.
This is not on the agenda. Get to the agenda,
It's public
Mr. Sackler.
comment, sir.
No, it isn't. It's your
It is.
comment on the agenda items.
Let's talk about Black History Month, which is part of the KKK. Can you say the KKK, African American dressed up as a Grand Wizard for the KKK, right here in this fucking city council? And who fucking said anything? You had people coming here and yelling nigger, 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 nigger. Nobody said a goddamn word.
Speaker, you need to speak to the agenda item.
About Black History Month. You paying attention, you dumb bitch? 90. It's from CRA money that was done away with by the governor about 10 years ago. You still getting AB 1290 money? How can you get that money? And let's go back to housing and homelessness again. Why did it go to homelessness? You're just stealing public funds. When did the LA Times, it says right here in this article, housing, homeless. Why are they even bothering publishing this newspaper when they talk about homeless and you talk about homelessness? Marquise, what about the KKK? What about Herbie Weston when they had a guy come in here and draw nooses on as a comment card? Nobody said anything.
Thank you, Yo-Yo.
Now it's all about Georgia. You think Lester Maddox loved the KKK?
Okay. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
He's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sachs. Your time's expired.
That's pretty stupid.
Just wait till public comment. Yo-Yo, thank you so much for the donation. Happy birthday again to you. Shit, yeah, here goes our homeboy.
Number 2, number 13.
You'll have 2 minutes, Speaker.
Love this guy.
Number 2 is the local emergency on homeless. Actually, this is something a little bit nothing new because in Los Angeles for the past 10, 20, 50 years, every day is a homelessness emergency day. Every hour, every minute is a homeless emergency. However, what I see is the mayor declaring local emergency, the city council is talking about the homeless, and then, we're talking about millions or billions of funding, but the true fact is the homeless population never decreased. It always increased. So I have no idea all of those politicians sitting right here, what you guys were doing, and continue to throw money away, and then at the same time, I do not see any result, positive result, that how do we decrease homeless on the street, because the people on the Skid Row, people living on the street, year after year is always getting more and more and more. And then switch back to the number 13, which is my favorite, Kevin De Leon. First of all, Kevin De Leon lives matter. I support Kevin De Leon. And then second of all, I support LAPD. When you are having a department that is 1,200 officers less compared to the 2019, compared to the year of 2019, then I will say that funding for the overtime officers, that's become a necessary. That becomes a common sense because the overtime, you must replace those 1,200 officers you lost because of those other local small department, because of retirement, because of they don't want to cooperate with your nonsense illegal vaccination mandate or whatever. You are having 1,200 less officers on the street. That means you are having 10,000 to 2,000 more criminal on the street. That is the deadly consequence. So I support Kevin De Leon. I support LAPD, more funding for overtime, and then I support more law enforcement. I support replacement, additional 1,000 officers on the street.
Let's go.
I'm top player hater from Korea. You bitches better recognize.
Let's go. Fucking let's go. I love his power, his vigor.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
2 callers on the phone.
That dude's spicy. I like him.
Agenda items.
Smoke.
First caller, please.
First caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Well, they're pulling through it. No presentations today, so they're going in quick. They want to get out of here, guys.
Good morning. This is Brock Landers.
Let's go, Brock.
Los Angeles private investigator. How are you guys doing today?
A law enforcement type
Which items
guy.
would you like to speak to?
All open items, please.
You'll have 3 minutes.
Okay, let's see. Item number 2, the state of emergency for homelessness. I think, like we talked about last week, I think we need to stop giving money to the homeless industrial complex and start working on...
No!
Oh, excuse me, hold on.
Somebody calling Brock. Stop hitting Brock up while he's on the phone.
I think we need to stop spending money on the homeless industrial complex, and we need to work on something that's actually going to get rid of homelessness. Maybe we could take some people, teach them how to do construction, and we can fix up some broken houses and put them in that. I know that's a wild idea because then your cronies won't get any money, but, you know, hey, let's think about the homeless people. Let's see, number 13, funding for the LAPD overtime. I think it's important that we get rid of cops like Tim Tallman. Over the weekend, Tim Tallman and 19 other officers showed up to arrest an assault victim that was assaulted while live streaming on Hollywood Boulevard. Aaron from Growing Up Scientology was assaulted by a Scientology hoodlum, and between 15 and 20 cops spent 2 hours investigating the assault charges they had video evidence of. Officer Tim Tallman spent his time victim blaming and trying to intimidate the victim.
That really
Thank goodness
doesn't
it
relate
wasn't
to
a
the
rape.
agenda, sir. Get back to the agenda
I'm
items,
getting
please.
to it. 20 officers and 2 helicopters with nothing for smoke and scan to stream. How much overtime was that? Is that on topic? Do you understand that? Well, obviously
Tell
way
him,
too
Brock.
much for an organization that pays no taxes, but I'm sure Pinkface there gets his check from
Sir,
Tiny
you need
Tom
to speak to
Cruise.
the... Scientology is not on our agenda. Please move on.
No, but police overtime is being wasted
Please
by
move
them.
on to the
Doesn't
next
that
agenda
count?
item.
The litter? Well, I think there's a lot of litter sitting around a horseshoe. I mean, with all the trash that you guys are throwing around, why don't you pick up your wrappers and put it away, and that way we won't have to spend this extra money on it. 15, Mark Ruffalo. Maybe we should start giving out IQ tests before we put people's star on the Walk of Fame. I also think that it's a good idea to have not have people on the Walk of Fame that preach hate and refuse to denounce Hamas. I saw that the lineup of Coachella was released. I wonder how Mr. Ruffalo would feel if Native Americans showed up and killed, all the colonizers at Coachella. I haven't seen anything about Mr. Ruffalo giving back any of his property to the Native Americans. You guys have a good day. Damon, you rock. Everybody turn into Smoke and Scan. It's better than listening to the shit here.
A law enforcement type of guy
Put me back on
who
hold
is
now.
hired
Thank you very much.
by people
Next caller,
to
please.
stop these bad individuals.
That's it. Shout out to Brock Landers. There's one. There's one.
Speaker with the last 4 digits 1991, please press star 6 to unmute yourself.
D, I think he was
Speaker,
referring
this
to
is your
Mark
last chance,
Mark
1991.
Ruffalo.
Please press star 6 to unmute yourself, or we'll move on.
Or maybe Garrett, what's
Next
his
caller,
name?
please.
Not Wilson. Garrett.
Next caller, what items would you like to
What's his
speak
last
on?
name? Guy from last week. Garrett Morris. Garrett Morris.
Speaker with the last 4 digits 7072, please press star 6 to unmute yourself.
Thank you, Shecky. Got it at the back end there.
Thank you, Jennifer. Speaker, this is your last chance before
Thank
we
you
move
again,
on.
Yo-Yo, for the
7072,
dono,
please
and
press
happy
star 6 to
birthday
mute
again to
yourself.
you, Yo-Yo. No way,
Next caller.
Beanie Cat. Holy shit. Is he okay?
Next
I
caller.
didn't see any
What
of that.
items would you like to speak on?
Hopefully he's all right. Hi, Terry. Thank you for the subscription to Twitch Prime for 41 months. I ain't even been on 41 months.
Speaker with the last 4 digits 7255, please press star 6 to mute yourself.
Next caller.
Next caller. Guys, just remember, everybody you see in here, all of them are coming back for public
caller.
comment.
What items
This
would you
is
like to
just
speak
agenda
on?
items only. So if you-
Speaker, you're unmuted. What items would you like to speak on?
Thank you, Lit Dad.
Is this 6235?
Yes, hello, Speaker. What items would you like to speak
Okay.
on?
Is that
So,
Shelley?
Okay. My name is Christy Metropole.
it's not
I'm with an organization called Stray Cat Alliance. and I am calling to respectfully ask the City Council to support the tenant pet eviction protection.
I'm sorry, Speaker. I just want to know which items would you like to speak to?
Oh, 17. So sorry.
Okay, you'll have 1 minute.
Okay. I'm calling to ask the City Council to support tenant pet
That's
eviction
crazy, Terry. It doesn't seem
protection,
it.
I don't know, act or org. It prevents needless evictions, thus potentially preventing the increase of homeless members. It prevents adding animals to our already
Close to the hype
incredibly
train.
overcrowded, overcapacity shelters, and it keeps families together. Los Angeles is a animal-loving city, and we must do this for our animals.
Thank
and
you,
our
Game
people at
Patter.
risk. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker, what items would you like to
She's
speak
talking
on?
about an initiative or for basically making homeless basically so landlords can't throw people out for having cats.
Speaker, you're unmuted. What items would you like to speak on?
Yes, thank you for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
Impressive.
Everyone who just got a free sub from Yesy1.
Welcome
to the
if you're
family.
listening at home. Be ready to speak.
Thank you,
when you're
Amaran.
called upon. And
Oh
after
man, you
raise
guys
your
kicked
hand
off
and
the
you're
hype
called
train. Of
upon,
course
be
he
ready
did.
to speak when
Thanks
you're
for doing that,
unmuted.
Ian.
Next caller. Next caller. Speaker, the last digits 1, 2, 3, 4. Please press star 6
Let's
to
get
unmute
it.
yourself.
Hype train's kicked off. Only Amaran, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
I would like to speak on item 17.
You'll have 1 minute.
Push the train. Choo choo.
I work as a volunteer with the LA Rapid Foundation, and I have seen the good that having pets has done for people during COVID.
Wow,
During
another
this pandemic.
5. Let's
It's
go.
just been incredibly stressful. And the cruelty of trying to get people out of their units, this is a major grab by landlords to essentially get protected residents out any way possible.
Thanks, Sav. Let's go.
And I really think it's cruel. I think it's incredibly cruel. The shelters are so overfilled already. It exacerbates a problem that we've already had with COVID restrictions being removed, or COVID
He's okay, and Oreo
protections
too.
being
Oh, I
removed
forgot Oreo's with him. Oh.
for renters. And I just really think if the council could be so kind as
Okay,
to
Wrinkle,
prevent
thank you.
people from losing their homes and losing their pets.
Thank you. Next caller,
Thanks,
please.
Sav. Level 3, guys. Level 3. 4
Next
minutes
caller.
left. 33%
What
of
items
the
would
way
you like
there.
to speak on?
Thank you, hype trainers.
It's Rob Klon. I'd like to speak on items 2 and 13.
Where's Daniel
You'll
Gus?
have 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I got to reiterate, the city attorney has no business being here. Needs to be banished back.
Go
down
ahead
to
and speak
committees
to the
commissions.
agenda items, Mr. Kwan.
So for item number 13, Kevin De Leon, does he care about his district, or was he just eager to be posing in front of cameras with his boys in blue?
That's it, yeah. Yes.
Based upon his latest press conference, it seems like he just wants to pose with the boys in blue. I'm assuming there's going to be a motion regarding that one coming in today, Kevin. I just want to know, why does my council member and all of the other council members, except for Kevin, need to fight for their items to be heard in committee and get onto this floor?
What band,
Well,
Slowpoke?
Kevin is privileged and gets his stuff sent straight to the floor. This doesn't sound like the Paul Krikorian who wanted to see some consequences for the guy.
Hi, Shell.
Mind you, a year ago we had a motion to look into consequences for a member like him, and that report never came. For item number 2, I just think it's amazing. There was an article in LAS yesterday about this executive directive, and
They always
how
do that
we
on the phones
exempted some stuff
model.
from CEQA, and all
They're
of a
coming
sudden
back
on
to
ad
them
hoc
in a
basis,
few
we're
minutes.
applying it. Is anybody going to talk about that today? Maybe Monica is, because she's the only one that feels liberated to be a dissenter.
Rebel Bird
Everybody
swooping.
on this council hates red tape, except for all the ways you actually love it. And that's the problem. When you actually have to deal with big decisions, you don't want to give it up. You can't get past your own self-interest. What we see with homelessness, same thing with corruption. Too little, 10 years too late. Hope you're proud of yourself.
Thank you so much, Rebel Swooping Bird, and everyone who just got a free sub from Rebel Swooping Bird to the family.
Would you like to speak on?
Yes, thank you.
82% of the way, 1 minute, 38 seconds left.
Which items would you like to speak on?
All items, and then I will
Thank
be
you,
calling
Fishing.
back Mr. Corey for
you.
public comment.
You'll have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Item 2 in regards to the homeless. You know, it's amazing what will happen when somebody does good for the homeless. I was on Van Nuys Boulevard, and there was a gentleman by the name of Richard Serrano. He had a little chair, and he was cleaning up graffiti. Next I saw was a young couple. They looked homeless. They had their bags. They looked a little, they under the weather. And then they started helping picking up trash. So, Mr. Serrano, thank you for doing that, because what you're doing is helping the homeless. You're helping the businesses, and everybody benefits. But maybe we might think about employing the homeless and seeing if we can give them jobs to get some pride back. And let's see if we can do that. Now let's go on to 14.
Sorry, Omniron.
Black History Month. Amen to that. But Andrew Gravener, by God, you should be ashamed of yourself. You, sir, are the one that used African American to attack someone in city council. Yet you sit there and criticize Mr. De Leon, and you praise yourself as the champion of the black community. Sir, I want to hear from you, because sometimes you have some interesting stuff. But please stop trying to pretend like you are the hero for the black community. In regards to the Star, and on Hollywood, I joined the gentleman that wants to remove.
Thank you guys
Donald
for the
Trump.
hype train.
You know, it's amazing. I'm a Republican. I'm a proud Republican, not a Trumper, but a Republican, and I would vote for Andrew Schiff. I was really impressed with him, and I met him many years ago.
Thank
he was
you, Candido, but you need to speak to the agenda, please.
Come on, 50
yes,
guns.
sir. That gentleman might be the next governor, and that gentleman
It's not
might
on our
be
agenda.
For homeless. I will
Thank
call
you, Sal.
back, sir, for public comment, if I
All
may.
right. Very good. Thank you. Next speaker.
Sal,
please.
thank you so much for Twitch Prime for 11 months. Welcome back for more time.
What items
Thank
would
you,
you like
Sal.
to speak on?
Yeah, he called out Andrew Gravener, the guy who says all
Item
the time.
17. You'll have 1 minute.
Hi, my name is Michelle Kelly. As a volunteer for Los Angeles Animal Services since 1999, I've seen the consequences to the animals when people are evicted. Our shelters are already packed with dogs and other animals that have lost their homes. So we must ensure that no more animals end up suffering on the streets or in our shelters. Also, for some tenants, animals are the only thing keeping them going. And these people will never give up their pets. And if this ordinance is not passed, may end up homeless themselves as a result. I therefore urge you to adopt this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Next caller, what
She
items would you like
did.
to speak on?
He's coming back, though. Sachs is coming back. He's right here.
Items 2, 13, 16,
They're all coming back.
17, and the Star, Hollywood Walk of Fame Star item.
You'll have 3 minutes.
Is that Stacy?
Cool. So item 2 is an emergency declaration regarding the unhoused resident population. This declaration has been in place for quite some time. What it does mainly is it expedites building contracts. Why an emergency declaration for a homelessness crisis doesn't include a rent freeze, an eviction moratorium, a punitive vacancy taxes, an intense data collection on existing vacancies and hoarding properties, immediate stringent regulations on how rental applications are processed. These are all things that we can look at the data and say, these will help keep people in their homes and start alleviating the processes by which people become homeless. But no, really, all we're doing is saying it's an emergency. So let's quickly allow these developers to bypass systems.
Speaker,
of
you should
community
move on to your
input.
next item.
Notice
Miss City Attorney, you should back the fuck up. You are way out of
I'm
line.
sorry.
here.
Now you're off the agenda. So speak to the agenda, or you'll shift your time.
Jesus Christ, Paul, you are on one today. Let's go into Inside Safe, aka Inside Starving. We've looked at the numbers, and we know that it is very expensive and it's rather ineffective. Only about 250 so people have gotten permanent housing after we've spent tens of millions of dollars. Like other people have mentioned, why are we continuing to fund the homelessness industrial complex? We're not holding any of these agencies accountable. And we're spending a lot of money and not seeing results. So item 13 is racist. Kevin DeLeon wants to transfer money that's supposed to go to redevelopment projects in his district into sworn overtime. Now, the Comptroller's Office just released a budget report highlighting the budget deficit that our city is projected to go into, and that deficit is directly related to sworn overtime.
Chippies
and
loved
anyone
it.
who lives in the city of Los
Fish.
Angeles knows that it's really dirty. We need more sanitation. We need more bulky item pickup. We need more unhoused resident population outreach. So it's really hard to take you seriously when here on the agenda you have, we're going to move $100,000 from development project funding to sworn overtime. Kevin, you are a racist, and all of you should be ashamed that you're so willing to vote with and alongside him, especially you, Councilmember
Thank you very
Ryan.
much. Thank you. Your time. One more caller.
Dunked her. That's right, Golf.
Caller, what items would you like to speak on?
Hello, good morning. I'd like to speak on item number 2, and I'd also like to speak on 12 that talks about the street banner for Black History Month.
You'll have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, City Council.
Remember, she has to come back, John T.
I'd like to know,
All of them are coming back for
regarding
public
the
comment.
declaration of
So
local
just wait.
emergency by the mayor. How's it even worked? Because I've been hearing from people on the streets who are homeless that Inside Safe doesn't work for them. And they say that they're not getting the help that they need. They're not getting shelter. They're not getting housing. And I've had one gentleman complain about the fact that he kept getting the runaround when he was calling around trying to see if he could get a place to stay for the night.
Hi, man.
Especially when we have cold temperatures like we did this past week. And it's just so absurd that Mayor Karen Bass is talking about she's helped
True, Liz.
house
It's good
a
to
lot
see
of
you.
people. When
It's
I
true, though.
hear multiple people complaining, saying that they didn't get any help, all they got was a runaround when they were calling in. Okay, so let's go to item number 12, which is really interesting. And yes, we do need to honor Black History Month, absolutely, by placing a street
Cannabis,
banner.
Bob.
But I just want to say that, don't you guys think
Hi,
that
Lisa.
you're dishonoring Black
Morning.
History Month by allowing an indictee named Current Price to do the flag salute by doing the Pledge of Allegiance? Well, on the street banner, you guys should also include the following. We endorse corruption at the City of Los Angeles City Council meetings. We have an indictee named Current Price, and we endorse him for being an indictee by the court system, soon to be convicted.
Speaker, you should
So
speak to the
let's,
agenda
include
item.
that on the, well, I'm talking about 12.
It's exactly that, John
I
T.
mean, you want to put a street banner on there, you should also put down right on the street banner, we endorse corrupt city council member Current Price. That's it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That will close public comment on all agenda items.
So now they'll have to
What's
come back
available
and
now
waste
for us?
time. They're going to vote. Then they're going to come back right now after voting on the 3 items or something. And we'll get to see everybody all over again. And now they can say whatever the fuck they want to talk about. Burnt grilled cheese they had this morning. They can talk about it. They're controlling these people to talk about what they want them to talk about. And then making it so long they'll usually wait till the end that most people will either leave or hang up. Exactly that, John T.
No revote or anything.
Dang, she trying to get all sexy on me?
I got a boner. Well, I just want to thank you all for voting yes in support of item 17. This ordinance extends victim protections to tenants, for tenants that acquired pets during the pandemic. I want to thank the Department of Animal Services for initiating this conversation and working with the city attorney to put forward this ordinance. The COVID-19 pandemic had a multitude of social, economic,
We're still
and
dealing
health
with this
impact on
shit.
our communities, and countless families are recovering from the impacts.
Yeah, because you
Many
close
people
the
lost their
businesses
loved
down
ones
they
and were
work
dealing with
at.
isolation from quarantine, which led many to get new additions to their families. These pets have helped people get through difficult times, and tenants should not be evicted from their homes because of the new pets. At a time when thousands of tenants are at risk of eviction,
Hate to break it
throughout
to
our
you, but
city,
you're actually
we
breaking
have a
the law.
responsibility to
If the
continue to
lease
expand and
says no
codify
pets,
critical
then it's no
tenant
pets.
rights that will keep people in their homes. And if that means keeping them with their pets in their homes, then we got to do that. As chair of the Neighborhood Community Enrichment Committee, I want to continue working with the Department of Animal Services and all of our city departments to
It's a
ensure that we're
contract.
increasing the quality of life for all of our Angelinos, including our pets. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Slowpoke. I'm getting
All
there, I
right,
guess.
see
It's a
no
slow,
other
it's a
members
slow
in the
deal.
queue, so
It's going to
on
take a
items
few more
1,
months.
3 through 12, 14, 15, and 17.
They said 6
Let's
months,
go
so
ahead
we're a
and
month
open
in.
the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
13 ayes.
Oh, Mr. Spindler's there now, guys, too.
Next item, number
So he missed the
13,
agenda items, but I'm sure he'll be talking. So
Hernandez for a
we'll
separate
give you the
vote.
viewer discretion is advised
If
right
there's
now,
no members
guys.
wishing to be heard on this item, let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
10 ayes, 3 noes.
Thank you. That brings us next to item number 2, which was called special by Councilmember Rodriguez. Item number 2, Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, in December of 22, the mayor invoked a local emergency.
Jeans,
with respect to
refs,
homelessness.
jeans.
And, as someone who's been on this council, first elected in
Genetics.
2017, I can assure, and I know many of my colleagues, when we ran on the issue of making, addressing homelessness as the #1 priority. There isn't anyone who hasn't made that very clear with every intention and action, from the allocation of resources that we have been funding through our work with Project Home Key, Project Room Key, you name it. Every opportunity that we've had, we've been collectively working to address this issue of homelessness with the greatest amount of urgency. We also, through the course of that work, struck a very important deal with the LA Alliance to assure that we were all measuring the work that we were doing and that all of the dollars that we were expending were helping to fulfill some immediate and long-term goals to address this. That took many, many years of effort and negotiation to achieve this settlement agreement. One of the issues and concerns that I've been raising, and I recognize that we've had a transition in the leadership of the mayor's office that is helping to lead the work with respect to this
It's all good,
emergency
Callie. He's
order,
awesome.
is some of the simplest requests in terms of evaluation of the expenditures made, making sure that the work is in alignment with fulfilling the obligations that we have to the Alliance case. There's a whole host of obligations that we have to meet as a city. And we are all here to support the effort to address this issue as the critical emergency that it is. But I want to be clear, what an emergency declaration provides is the ability for sole source contracting, which really eliminates our ability to evaluate the expenditures associated with the monies that are being expended with respect to homelessness that are done through by the mayor's office. I raise this issue because we have an obligation as a legislative body, and when we look at some of the effects of how we expend our resources, that we make sure that there's clear transparency and accountability with how they're utilized, and that we have the greatest cost efficiencies with everything that we do. We have been engaged in Homelessness and Housing Committee in that very conversation, and we continue to push and advocate for, and item 16 is another way of achieving that, but we continue to ask for some very simple answers to questions related to how these dollars are being expended, if we're getting greater efficiencies with the process. But when we provide an emergency authority, we're redacting our own ability to really evaluate any of those metrics, any of those expenditures. And so I raise this because as we've been asking for more than a year for many of these things, whether it is, again, how do you identify which encampments we're going to be, that are going to be selected for encampment resolution, how this is.
Democrats know a lot about encampments, Japanese internment camps.
Under the Alliance
That's the
settlement,
latest
with
one
all
they
of
had.
those looming
Well, no, the
questions,
latest one is the immigration,
providing a lot of
illegal
discretionary
immigration camp.
resources to be administered by the mayor's office, absent our very direct oversight and evaluation. And so I raise these issues to say that I want to provide an opportunity for the new, for Ms. Ramirez Castro to start answering many of these questions that many of us have been asking. I know many of us, again, item 16 is another example. There's another motion that I had introduced back in October that was finally scheduled and heard in Homelessness Committee just last week, where we added additional amendments about the report backs that we want to see that answer many of these basic fundamental questions. Because I know a lot of people talk about the concerns around sole source contracts. Well, we can talk about having concerns about sole source contracting, but we're enabling it when we're not ensuring that there is a sufficient report back system and we're not getting the questions answered that we are all seeking.
It's good to see you, Ed. Thank you.
So with that, I say, while I want to provide an opportunity to Ms. Ramirez Castro to finally begin to answer the questions that we've been asking for more than a year, I'm firmly communicating that I will have a lot of difficulty continuing
check them
to
out after the
improve
show,
this going
Callie.
forward if we don't start to see those answers. And I would be remiss if I didn't just let,
All the good shit's coming up right now
communicative
after
at
they're
this
done
point. I
talking
said
about
these things in
themselves.
committee, but I feel the responsibility to say it out loud so
The
that
meat
the public understands.
is on the way.
The sense of urgency has never seated in this council. We have all been working towards it.
That's
in
me.
a number of efforts.
That ain't me.
But that doesn't necessitate us redacting our fiduciary responsibility in providing the fiscal oversight.
You notice that fiduciary is the new buzzword? Has anybody else noticed that?
Dollars that we have a right to be fully informed.
Never heard them use that term up until this last couple months. This last month.
About how these dollars are being expended.
Fiduciary.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Any other
Always
members
get the
wishing
little
to be
key
heard?
buzzwords.
On item
Again, they're
2,
always
let's go
told
ahead
how
and
to
open the
say
roll.
it and what to say. See?
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
13 ayes.
Thank you. That'll take us next to item number 16.
Yeah, someone should have
which is
screamed.
called special by
Stay out on
Councilmember
agenda. Stay on the agenda items,
Councilmember
please.
Blumenfield.
Great, thank you. Colleagues, I don't think this is a controversial
All right, guys.
matter.
Smoke and
I just
grills.
wanted to explain what it was, which is this deals with the Starbucks card in terms of the what we euphemistically call the Starbucks card in terms of the spending for Inside Safe. And the mayor is fine with these changes. It's basically, we had a process that we all understood when we went through the budget of how that money what would trigger it when it got down below 25 million and what reports and things like that would come out of it. The last go round, there were a few bumps in the road in terms of that money going out the door faster than we had anticipated in terms of having the time to do the oversight on it. This is basically just clarifying some of those details of timing and how it works. Again, it's not controversial. It is exactly the intent that we all discussed during the budget process. It is just sort of
You
putting
should
a
be,
final
mister.
point on it.
It's
With that, I ask
natural.
for your aye vote.
Means you're alive. You understand.
All right. Do
You're
any other members
focused.
wish to be heard?
And that ain't no joke.
Thank you, Mr. Blumenfield. Seeing none.
Glad to see you
I'm
have
sorry.
that emotion.
Councilmember Padilla.
It's okay.
Okay, I just want to say that
You're not
I'm
a
really
fucking
looking forward
puppet,
to
I can
hearing
tell.
these reports. I think that they are very much needed. But I just, every other day I ask for an update on the specific stories and the specific cases of
Pacific? Like the
chronic
ocean?
locations of where the homeless are in my district, and it's not like the work isn't getting done. We are connecting, we are finding out their stories, and they are being offered housing. They are being offered the services.
But they don't want to
But
go.
every once in a while, my team and the service providers in my district run into an obstacle where people
don't
don't
wanna go.
want to be housed.
Thank
and
you.
It's very obvious. You can observe
Thank you.
that what they need are supports with mental health, behavioral health, and substance abuse. So I hope that we can
The
start
truth
to
is
hear
coming
these
out,
stories
ladies and gentlemen. They
and
can't
really
hold it
also
back.
understand what the accountability is.
Drug
as it
addict
pertains to our
vultures.
partners at the county and
Your
the services
houseless
that they're
neighbor.
supposed to provide.
Your neighbor
Because
works,
there's
gets up,
nothing more
goes to
frustrating
fucking
than us
work every
continuing
day.
to go back and go back and go back, knowing that it's outside of our jurisdiction and our resources of what we have. I've had moments where we've wanted the county to come out and they say that it's the responsibility of our LAPD officers. And then it turns into a big back and forth. So I want to know what we're doing to hold their feet to the fire, because we need them if we're really going to take this on.
Thank you, Councilmember. Well said. And it's
Spoken
not
like
just
a true Mensa
here in Los
member.
Angeles either. This is a national crisis of lack of mental health care, a national crisis of opioid addiction.
So
And the
we
city of
gave you
Los
$2
Angeles
billion.
has
Why don't you do
zero,
something about it?
Funding or jurisdiction available to address those.
But
whereas
I'm
the
gonna
county and
gaslight
other
you,
levels
pretend
of
I care.
government Are positioned to do that.
Fuck
and
outta
we're
here.
dependent upon them to step up and be our partners in this. So thank you very much for that observation. Members, any other comments?
He's
All
a
right,
landlord. Why doesn't he just let them into his
let's go ahead and
properties?
open the roll.
Oh, because he wants paying customers. I get
Close
it.
the roll and tabulate the votes.
I get it.
13 eyes.
What do you think these people are going to do to? I mean,
thank you.
don't
Mr.
don't
Clerk,
people understand that you
what's
could
next on the
legit
agenda?
it? Give them their house. Tell them you can do. Just do whatever you want. Just go in the house so you're not out on the street.
The council may now
I
proceed to
guarantee you,
general public
60, if not higher percent,
All right.
would be trashed
and we
within a
will do
year.
So.
They're not taking care of it. Who's paying the water? Who's paying the property taxes? I know it is. You're the guy talking and
Okay.
the people looking
So
at
I'm
me
gonna
that
call
go to
first
work
the
every day.
speakers for general public comment here
Who's
in
paying the
council
gas
chambers.
bill?
Myra Baldwin.
Who's paying the
Arnold
electric?
Sachs, Harriet Elliott, Andrew Gravener.
All right, here we go, guys. Viewer discretion is
and-
advised. Viewer discretion is advised. Especially when Spindler goes up there.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My concern is regarding DCFS. I was a foster parent for 9 years, and crime took place in Kennedy High. Between social workers and LAUSD workers, they slandered my name. They took our children away. And I've been a driver for 30 years for LAUSD as a school bus driver. They plotted against me, and they said that I was put out of service because DCFS corruption said that I attempted to kill my intellectually challenged daughter for 3 different occasions. At work since June because between the corruption that DCFS and their social workers have done, they accused both my husband and I of attempted murder. When the district attorney.
Oh my God!
Thank you very much, and I hope you'll share those
Holy
concerns with the
shit.
Board of Supervisors.
Not
that
once,
oversees
twice,
the
but 3 times.
department.
Guys, over or under 12? Over or under 12 on the ums coming up. He's next.
You may not have been you may not know about the war. It has a lot to do with your microwave. This book, which is so easy to read, I could read it very easily, War at the Speed of Light, says directed energy is the new battleground. So what is directed energy? Directed energy is your microwave. all of these people on the new electronics are geniuses. Can I have someone redistribute these? They told me that I have to
No
have
need,
30. Rodriguez can
Pickle Dick's
please
gonna come get
distribute
him. Shout out to Pickle Dick.
These are all people talking about the new electronics. This woman right here, we're all together. She's I'm not like her. She believes in psychic, and she also believes in remote viewing. But in general, I have about 90% the same as her. Everything that happens to her.
Thank you very
hope
much.
you'll
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
All right, 12 over under.
All right, so as always, giving the public comment at or near the beginning of the meeting, right? I mean, or is that just or does Paul Krikorian live time backwards, and this is actually the beginning of the meeting? I mean, the rules say that you have to have it at or near the beginning of the meeting, but yet you don't do that. Have you had a vote? No. Have you even suspended the rules? No. And it's up to you all to hold them to the rules, but none of you do that because you're all cowards or just, go alongside with him, It's absolutely ridiculous. You still have Kevin De Leon on the council, and I know probably a week from Friday you're all going to come here and, you're going to do your Black History Month presentation, with Kevin De Leon in the room. He needs to go. And you need to resign, Kevin.
Oh, so close. It's under. Everybody who picked the under are the winners. Mr. Sachs coming up. He's my favorite. I want Mr. Harlan back. Where's Mr. Harlan, man? We miss you, Mr. Harlan.
Thank you. Thank you for City Attorney for showing the contrast. I appreciate you doing that. Are you aware of this form here, the law? The Civil Rights Act of '64, the Americans Disability Act of 1990, the Employment Act of 1967, the Equal Pay Act of 1963, the Non-Discriminatory Act of 2008. The one that's missing is the Affordable Care Act that was enacted by Barack Obama, which would have provided affordable care to all low-income people that was held by a private company. What the fuck happened? Oh, and by the way, this is a document that's at USC with period, connotated law. United States Courthouse, it's not USC. And I'd just like to point out this green sheet mentions Southern California at a citizen of City of Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Why is there no department on the trucks anymore for water and power?
Thank you very much, Mr. Spindler. All right.
Who in the
I've
fuck
called everybody.
do you guys think you
sir,
are?
Where's Spindler?
I'm sorry. I might have missed your... Come on up.
Where's Spindler? And where's our homeboy from Korea with the pink hoodie? He's gone?
I apologize. I
he
didn't see
bailed
you signed up
out.
for general public comment, but come on.
Oh, why not? Oh, great. We got the idiot here. What do you think he's going to say?
As you know, this council introduces street naming dedications.
Here we go.
Week. I think you guys have one today that you'll be voting on. Doesn't hesitate to introduce these motions in the Public Works Committee. A renaming ceremony took place a few months ago in Los Angeles Plaza Park for a segment of that historic cultural monument, which had featured the name of a controversial figure. And there was no pause in doing the right thing to recognize original settlements of the Tongva and Gabrielino peoples. And I recognize that's Recreation and Parks policy, but if the Trump star on the Walk of Fame was on LA County property, it would already qualify for 2 conditions of removal under county procedures. You're not beholden to a deaccessioning policy, so you don't need to follow one here. Even though the star and the sidewalk it's on are both city property according to the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, this city continues to provide special treatment to Donald Trump as if he's some figure worthy of the honor. That's just a fact, because what's stopping anyone here from acting? No one has provided a single reason. Please act. Thank you.
Sounds scared.
Emotional damage! And just for the record, Mr. Sachs, you know better than to make noise when somebody's speaking. You disturbed that speaker as he was trying to give his presentation. Please don't shout out when other people are trying to speak. All right, let's go next to the callers on the phone. For
Mr.
general
Sachs
public comment.
getting pissed.
First caller, please begin.
Brock should be back. All the others. Stacy, hopefully she gives you guys a song. And remember, we got the Stacy game.
Caller with the last 4 digits, 72.
As soon as you know what song
please
she's
press star
singing,
6 to mute
put it in the
yourself.
chat rooms. Name that tune. Name that Stacy tune.
Next caller.
Good morning, City
Oh,
of Los
no,
Angeles.
sorry. Go ahead.
City of Los Angeles, something's going on with your phones here because 5 people, including myself, are having problems getting through, and we've done your instructions.
It's the sound guy in the corner
So
underneath
with
the
that
live
being
sign.
said, on the, I can't go to general public comments. Agenda items, but I will bring 13 up, Mr. Kevin De Leon. That overtime that's being asked and required for LAPD, most people are aware that LAPD runs 12-hour shifts for 3 days a week. That puts them in a double time pay status in overtime when you ask for overtime for them. Double pay. That's a lot of money to be giving up for doing their job. The problem is getting the response to get there when people report it. I got a commendation for stopping somebody stealing that thing, held the wire, and that person was arrested. Do your jobs. It's not hard. Mr. Candido, thank you for acknowledging my work. It was brought to my attention about the graffiti. Don't need I just need the office to get the work done.
Thanks, Liz.
Just a title.
All right. Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker, please begin.
Thank you, video guy. Much love.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoker scan viewer.
It's yeah.
Go ahead, speaker.
Cool. I'd like to say what's up, my man, smoker scan Damon. We're having a good show today, as usual. Hitting it out of the park. You do good work, brother. There. I'd like to say, I'd like to congratulate my 49ers on that win, the other day. Beating the hell out of them ass Packers. They wouldn't work for damn anyway to begin with there.
Ass Packers.
Today was a good day of the meeting. Kind of fucked up with the phone system. I called. I got rejected like 2 times there when I tried to call, and then when I got in, I guess y'all skipped me. So something was fucked up. I don't know if Corin got his dick in the way trying to get stuff done the way he wants to do it or whatever. But y'all need to get shit figured out. Y'all have a good one.
Shout out to Jason. Just dropping truth bombs,
Thank
homie.
you. Next caller, please.
Next caller, please begin.
I'm calling actually on items I didn't get a chance to speak. Agenda items. Item 1 concerning the building of housing units in City 9 by indicted embezzler and perjurer awaiting trial criminal current price. The 331,000 unit cost to build these 60 units is less than half what they were ripping off the public at $700,000 per unit with corrupt Marquise Dawson's Triple H bond fund. And we wonder why there is a homeless crisis. Item 2 is concerning the continuing state of emergency. This item should receive a no vote, in my opinion. The Los Angeles sleazy council, yet these corrupt clowns keep doing the same thing the same corrupt way. Item 13 by racist Kevin Luis Button Leon is for the feeding of yet another $100,000 to the most oppressive and murderous police department in the country, the LAPD. The vote on this motion will see the worthless black Uncle Tom members of this corrupt council all vote yes for this LAPD oppression as usual. In my opinion, this item should receive a no vote if indicted current price.
Thanks very much. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker, please
Hey,
begin.
dunked her. Quack.
Speaker with the last 4 digits, 5853, please. Speaker, you're unmuted.
Hello,
Please
can you
begin.
hear me?
That's lobster.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead,
Hello?
speaker.
Hi, it's Brian Kowalczyk calling.
It sounds like lobster.
I am the handicapped senior who's been appearing at meetings to see if the landlord participation loophole can be fixed in the ULA ERAP program. I was approved for the program, and
Rooster?
I could be evicted I could be served with an unlawful detainer papers on February 1st, and I might end up homeless. I'm wondering if item 2 will allow the mayor or perhaps the council to give them more time to address that landlord participation loophole.
What's up,
Mr.
T3 Mix
Krikorian,
12?
If I know your team has been working on this, and
Hi,
I'd
Jason.
appreciate it if maybe Madeline could give me a phone call and update me on that stuff. And and there's been any progress made with the city attorney to address this.
No, I put a
Thank you
chair
very
in
much,
front of
sir.
the cabinet
trying.
now, which is really
Okay,
annoying
next
for
speaker.
me to have to move.
Next speaker.
every time.
Please begin.
So kind of thwarts the issue.
Thank you. And just as arbitrarily as you didn't call me up during the agenda items, you called me up now. And it's really outrageous, guys. You got to get it together. There were so many important items. I wanted to refer people to read an article published on Christmas.
Need to fire that
about
guy
cats
up there and
in
below
New
the live
Yorker,
sign
How
first.
the no-kill movement betrays its name by keeping cats outdoors. Check it out. And Mark Ruffalo was a great actor, and on the agenda, he was a guy who was in that movie Spotlight, which was about, for those who don't remember, the journalist Michael Resendiz. And he reached out to a guy named Mitchell Garabedian, who initially declined to be interviewed by him, but eventually they got together, and they thought they were following one terrible, criminal priest, but it turned out to be an enormous cover-up. And I'll tell you, Mike Resendiz, I've often felt connected to him because of the sustained corruption in that city hall. Perhaps it's not molesting children, but what you do is such a sustained game and act of betrayal of your own people that I really think it's time for Blumenfield to come forward.
Thank
and
you.
Discuss the close.
Drop facts on him. I love Eric
Next speaker,
Previn.
please begin.
I love it. Gives him that lawyer tongue lashing. Without even cussing one time and not one
Speaker, you're unmuted. Please begin.
Go right ahead.
Caller, my name is Lobster. I just want to give a shout out to Damon and all his fans. The one thing I'm disappointed about is you make fun of the girl about microwaves. Microwaves are serious business because if you don't put your hot pocket on for the right amount of time, it's not going to taste good. So everybody understand about microwave activity and never put a lobster in a microwave. Thank you, Paul Kekorian, for your fucking duty.
What kind of duty? Not that kind of duty?
Next speaker, please.
Next speaker, please begin.
There's three, ladies and gentlemen.
Speaker with the last four digits 0121.
Man, fire your guy
Please
up
begin.
here.
You're unmuted.
Yes, I just want to let the City Council know that for the items that you voted on, 1, 3 through 12, 14, 15, and 17, also numbers 2, 13, and number 16, there were no votes shown on the screen, which basically could be considered illegal because nobody knows who's there. So you might want to go back and look at the recording and figure out why that didn't happen.
Need to fire your AV
regarding
guy.
public comment, it's not on the agenda, which seems like it's a Brown Act violation. It should be noted when public comment on agenda items are to be taken and when public comment is for non-agenda items. And council members, you need to vote on it and not just let it just go without any discussion. Neighborhood councils need to be able to weigh in on stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. Next
It
caller.
was a
please.
violation of the Brown Act.
Next caller, please
There's
begin.
There's Pickle Dick coming in.
Yes, hello. General public comment, and I'm calling on my other line. Thank you, Mr. Corian. Just quickly, I want to talk about the Senate race again last night. I was amazed, and I believe I heard right that Congressman Lee went to San Fernando High. And I want to take you back a little bit, back in the 90s.
Sit, John.
I remember when all these talented people from the Northeast Valley were coming forth, and I was like, my God. I said, Lord, you finally give me some hope. There is some great talent here. And I promise not to talk about the C word, which is corruption. But, we need to make sure that we get the best people out of whichever part of the valley, and also
DEI, baby.
But again, God bless San Fernando High. They've done a great job, and hopefully we can get back to doing what's the best for our communities. Thank you so much, Mr. Corian, for letting me have my First Amendment right.
Shout out to, what is he licking his ass and letting me have it right? You hear that, cuck? 50 guns, you're a cuck. I'm sorry. Letting me have my right.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoking scan viewer.
Let's go. Shout out to Jay. Got up in there twice. They don't even realize it. Talk, dude. Say something. Say something, Jay.
Go ahead, speaker.
Yes, I'd like to speak with the gentleman who was talking about the microwave issue there. I'd like to say it's not only hot dogs you have to worry about putting in the microwave, but because they put your weenie in the microwave because the end of it, the bust wide open, that'd be a bad day for you there. Nobody likes to split weenie up the middle there, so you got to be careful with that there because microwaves are dangerous material. Don't put any aluminum foil in it either there. Like when you're trying to, clean out sanitize your crack pipe or whatever, and you got aluminum foil in there to get it done there. You don't really doing that, either throw out and get your new pipe to smoke with, or maybe you're gonna move on to meth, or they have some new drugs today that just makes you jump out the window there. But be careful with those microwaves, because microwaves are a very dangerous thing there. Anyway, my man Smoke this game, I want to say hi and what's up to everybody, and we'd be glad to have y'all to come in and watch us do our thing there, and y'all have a good one.
All right.
There's 4.
Next caller, please begin.
And he got in there twice. Man, who's this phone dude? Where's Brock?
Speaker with the last
Where's
four digits,
Stacy?
5686.
They dunked them?
You're unmuted. Please begin.
Hi. Good morning, City Council members.
He already talked.
What a disgrace to have Curtin Price doing the Pledge of Allegiance. He's a corrupt indictee. He shouldn't even be doing the Pledge of Allegiance. You guys need to vote to suspend his ass from the City Council. The same thing you guys did to Mark Ridley Thomas. What's going on with you people these days? So let's call it the Pledge of Corruption. I pledge of corruption to the City Council. Curtin Price is an indictee. He's the 4th corrupt City Council member indicted, about to be convicted. Once he becomes convicted, his cellmate's going to be Mark Ridley Thomas. His cellmate is going to be John Englander, Jose Huizar, and Mark Ridley Thomas. All 4 of them in a bunch in a cell together. How nice is that?
Okay, thank you very much.
Shout out to you, Grady, sitting to the left in the blue.
What's next before us?
Hold on. So
Very
Stacy
good. Thank
and
you.
Brock
Any
didn't get in
announcements,
there? Oh, that's some
Members, Are
bullshit.
there any announcements? Councilmember McCosker.
That's some bullshit.
Thank you much. Thank you very
You
much.
knew they
Mr.
were
President,
hanging
members of
on.
the Council.
You knew they were.
On Saturday, around 1:45.
See how they
in Wilmington,
silence people?
At what is called the Warren E&P, the Exploration and Production Facility for Oil and Gas.
Shady Grady, baby.
We had a failure of an underground 8-inch gathering pipe, and that failure caused essentially
Piper
a geyser
Cricket, thank you for the tier
of
1 for
oil and
33
water,
months.
crude
Let's
oil
go.
and water over the Warren E&P fence into the street, which is Anaheim.
Who got
Street,
the big ass
a
cold
busy
sore?
street
Look at
in
that
our
thing,
district,
dude.
and spread over the public right-of-way and into private property. All the
Oh,
way across the
shanked
street.
up.
This oil and water geyser, essentially, from the failure of a pipe, lasted about 15 minutes.
Oh, Buckethead over here.
LAFD showed up very, very quickly. We have a great LAFD, of course, and Station 38, which was the first in,
Fucking
showed up,
Shanker, dude.
figured
Ravi
out how
Shankar.
to shut off the pipes and get it shut down.
Man,
very,
that
very
shit
quickly.
on your lip got
But
some shit on its
15 minutes
lip.
is a long time for crude oil and water to spray out over the public right-of-way and onto adjacent property. LAFD and all the
I
other
see you are
agencies
very
did
much
a
liking
great
to
job
explore
of
STDs also, my friend.
put up
That
temporary
shit on your lip got some shit on its lip, dog.
to prevent more oil, not any oil, more oil from going into our storm, which heads right to the water.
I'm dead right now.
It was an
I'm
environmental
fucking dead.
disaster.
I'm fucking dead.
And I'll bet none of you saw it on the news, which is also a shame. This should not
Why
happen
would you need
anywhere
that
in the
drop,
city. It
Damon?
certainly shouldn't happen
That's
in
why.
Wilmington. I had a news reporter ask me, well, you have a lot of refineries. Does this happen often at refineries? First of all, it's not a refinery. It was an exploration site. So let's understand what we're even reporting on. Today, we filed a motion. I want to thank Councilmember Nithya Raman for seconding the motion, where we are going to do the follow-up work. We're asking for Cal EPA, Cal GEM. We're asking for our local agencies, LAFD.
Why am I smoking
our
out of
oil
bag?
and
Well,
gas administrator,
technically I'm vaping out
and
of a
others
bag.
to look into this, to hold Warren
I'm not really
EMP
smoking,
fully accountable
vaping.
for the cleanup, fully accountable
Because it makes me
for
feel
any
good.
damages caused by this. It is unusual for me to speak on a motion that we just filed.
Cannabis is your
It's
friend.
extraordinarily important that we work closely with the Water Quality Board and all of the agencies.
And I can't watch
that will
these
be
guys sober.
responsible for assisting us in doing justice in Wilmington. So I do want to thank LAFD. LAFD were the heroes on this. They showed up quickly. They were extraordinarily responsive.
He needs a mask.
They worked with the owner of the site
Ah.
to make sure that they fulfilled their
The
responsibility.
one who needs it ain't got it, huh?
Cleanup work.
Sounds about
One
right.
of our iconic restaurants right across the street.
Tell you what, though, I'll be bailing the mask. You know me and how I think about masks. Boy, oh boy, I'd be bailing the mask if I had that
Immediate
shank up on
temporary
there.
measure. What we need to do is find out how this happened, why it happened, and ensure that it never happens again.
Till that
So I just
sucker
wanna
goes
thank my
dormant.
colleagues for what I expect will be your support
yeah.
in what is the return of this motion and our ability to address a measure like this. And I will ask the city attorney, who has their own independent authority, to take a look at this, to look at it from every side of their office, to make sure that we hold this business of exploration and production of oil accountable in the city of Los Angeles, but most particularly in the community of Wilmington. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCosker.
All right,
Thank you
ladies and
for,
gentlemen.
fast leadership in responding to that. It's another example of why this council acted to end oil and gas extraction once and for all throughout the entire city of Los Angeles. And I hope that
That's it, brain.
we'll act with great urgency.
A lot of people don't
in
understand
ensuring
that.
the phase
What's
out
weird
of
is,
all existing wells.
especially if you're a smoker, if you haven't seen a
Councilmember
volcano,
Daniel.
I mean, this shit is almost
Thank you
4
much,
decades
Mr.
old.
President. Colleagues, early this morning we
I'm
had...
sorry, 1 minute.
This shit been here 40
There
fucking
will be
years.
no shouting out. There will be no disruption
Look at
of
the-
any work of this council, or you'll be excluded.
That fucking
Councilmember
turtleneck
Daniel.
was too
Thank you
much.
much,
Look at that fucking
Mr.
turtleneck.
President, colleagues, early this morning with Councilman
Oh, man.
Park,
I don't know if that
we
was the
had
choice, bro.
what I would call a successful press
I'm-
conference.
I'm
along with
fashion
members
copping. I
of
don't care.
The community.
Getting pulled over for wearing that, son.
Lighting. I want to just give an illustration. The topic
You're
was
lucky it's a
copper wire
misdemeanor.
on 6th Street Bridge that we celebrate, that iconic 6th Street Bridge that cost us more than half
Five-
$1
$550
billion.
million,
They
and now all the lights are out.
1,000 feet of copper wire, which equates to 7 miles on the black market with about
They sold-
$3.80 a pound. They sold it for roughly about $11,000. It's going to cost us taxpayers $2.5 million.
Great.
You go on that bridge right
$2.5
now,
million to fix
parts
the
of
lights,
bridge
guys.
are completely dark. And it's not just the bridge, it's many neighborhoods throughout the city of LA where neighborhoods are completely in the dark. So senior citizens are afraid to go out to the corner store to buy a gallon of milk or a dozen eggs because they're fear of their life. It's a public safety issue. It's not
His name is
just
Kevin
City
DeLeon.
14. What makes me very upset, it's happening throughout the city, but particularly in economically disadvantaged districts, whether it be
I told you
CD9,
you and I were paying for it.
CD1,
$2.5 million.
Other similar districts.
And I
around the city of
guarantee you,
LA.
if we had a
Copper wire theft is not a
subcontractor,
unique phenomenon
we could get it done
to
for $1.5 million.
country, but as
I
always,
guarantee
LA
you.
is always extra all the time. So we're going to put a task force together with your support and with a reward compensation program.
Now we need a
hope
task
to be
force
part
for a
of
bridge we spent
This is an
$500
issue
million
that's happening
for.
everywhere,
We did,
and
not
that's
them.
why there's parts of the city that are completely dark. We have thieves that are literally picking the city apart piece by piece. And
I love
when
JCPenney. Don't
the
be
Bureau
talking
of
about
Street
it, me.
Lighting goes back out
It's
there
my
to
fave.
repair, they're just waiting. And their signal is the lights go on and they go back again to steal all the wires. And it's not just those who are unhoused or other folks, but they're folks who are showing up with official looking vests that look like they're contractors. Folks can't decipher. Are they city, they're private, and they're out there doing it in broad daylight in front of everybody, and they're dismantling the infrastructure of the city of LA. But I just wanted to highlight that.
You guys weren't
because
smart
it's
enough
critical
to
issue
put a
that
couple
nobody
ring
solves.
cameras on that bitch, were you?
Well, it does indeed, and we may be going right.
And then
past
call the
pilot
cops that you wanted to
programs,
fund
because
over there to
you
catch 'em.
probably
Got
saw
it.
The news last week about cemeteries.
How aren't they communists?
Carson
Like,
and
what's-
in Compton
Huh?
that have been stripped of brass plaques on graves. a brass plaque that was donated by Joe Lewis to commemorate
Joe
black
Lewis?
service in the United States Armed Forces was stolen so that somebody could melt it down. And the problem really is unscrupulous metal dealers, and you know that the city attorney and many of us have been focusing on trying to get to that part of this organized crime problem, and there's more to be done. I was just in contact with representatives of Compton and Carson about creating a regional task force on this as well. So much more to come on this. Thank you very much, Councilmember De Leon. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to add to what Mr. McCosker was uplifting in Wilmington, and it's awful. These types of circumstances continue to occur in communities with very similar demographics. I have a similar challenge with the environmental impacts at Whiteman Airport in Pacoima, where the county has neglected to respond to the multiple crash landings in the neighborhood, providing zero mitigations to protect that
Think that was
neighborhood
due
from
to
the
lighting?
exposures of harmful lead and a number of other exposures. I think about Exide and the lack of progress that continues to evade working communities of color, that there's a big press event around it, and then there's no subsequent follow-up to ensure that these communities are protected, that there is environmental justice that is levied in these neighborhoods. It's happened for far too long. And we need to continue to advance that work collectively, because it's not just with respect to the oil wells. It's pollutants, it's air quality and the residual effects of that. It's the fact that so many of our working class neighborhoods, for example, are dissected in my district by planes, trains, and automobiles. It has detrimental effects to the quality of life.
Don't forget
and
about the
health
aircraft
of the residents in those areas. So I look forward to supporting that work. And if there is additional efforts that the city attorney can deploy within their wheelhouse to ensure that all of our residents, not to pick and choose, but all of our residents that are in working class neighborhoods that continue to endure these types of circumstances, that there's heightened awareness that there's an opportunity here to actually protect a lot of our neighborhoods. Doesn't matter who represents those areas.
This is true, Rep.
It matters that we make these
The
communities
unfuckables.
whole and that we protect them equally. So I want to thank you for uplifting that and uplifting that for all of
What's
us
up,
today.
SoCal?
But Mr. President, I did want to remind everybody that today is the homeless count. And I know that in Pacoima, we are going to, we have many deployment spots in the city, but certainly I know in my district, we will be in Pacoima and Silmar and Sunland, Tahunga, doing deployment with all of the volunteers that come together in order to do this. And it's a very important activity for all of us to exhibit leadership and participate in every year. And please encourage volunteers to come out and be part of this so that we can identify again where we have some of the, again, this ongoing challenge that we need to address, but it helps to inform the work as we go forward. And so with that, colleagues, I thank you. Tonight in Pacoima, we will be commencing at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other announcements, members? Okay. Oh, Councilmember Lee. Okay, very good. No other announcements, members? Then we can proceed next to.
Oh, you didn't get to
motions for
talk.
adjournment.
You see
So if
Swindler?
we could
Look at
all
him.
Please rise for adjourning motions.
Look at him right here. See, he's right there. They didn't let him talk.
Councilmember Lee.
Look at him flicking him off.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I'd like to return in the memory of a friend of the office, Bryce Anthony Fluellen, a resident of Northridge. He was a master chef, food justice advocate, entrepreneur, an author who unfortunately passed away on January 1st, 2024. Fluellen dedicated his career to promoting healthy lifestyles and addressing the systemic barriers that can make healthy eating and exercise a challenge for people in underserved communities. He touched the lives of thousands of individuals along the way. Most recently, Fluellen was the president and CEO of Arthur Lee Consulting and Advisory, a Los Angeles-based social impact firm named after his late father that was focused on food, health, and community development.
You guys caught that too?
He recently told a publication
Food
Canvas
justice.
Rebel in November of last year that he is guided by the words of the late Dr. King that life's most urgent and persistent question is, what are you doing for others? This quote reminded him every day to keep pushing forward and making a tangible difference in the world. Between 2020 and 2023, Fluellen was the executive director of social equity, franchise, and philanthropy at Every Table, where he led the company's program that invested directly into marginalized entrepreneurs of color by providing them the opportunity to open up Every Table stores with zero upfront capital or net worth. In the interim, he was named to Nation's Restaurant News 2022's Power List of 50 most influential people who are shaping the future of food service. Previously, as Community Impact Director at the Los Angeles chapter of the American Heart Association, he was involved in a regional campaign with the National Football League Foundation to transform and improve youth physical activity. He started at the organization in 2014 as a chef instructor for the Kids Teens Cook with Heart program. He also crafted a curriculum around sustainable basic cooking skills and nutrition for more than 9,000 children within the Los Angeles, Long Beach, and Santa Ana school districts. Additionally, he facilitated hundreds of workshops about the power of healthy eating to prevent disease for parents, school administrators, business, and community leaders. Mr. Fluellen was born on August 25th, 1970, in Ypsilanti, Michigan. He grew up in Battle Creek, Michigan, the son of U.S. government analyst Arthur Lee Fluellen and schoolteacher Marilyn Louise Fluellen, an older brother to his sister Jessica. He graduated from Battle Creek Central High in 1988. His son Bryce was born in 1992. In 2005, he married marketing executive Kim, his wife Kim, who he had his daughter Layla in 2006, and later became father to her son Nicholas. He shared parts of his journey recently in a book that he self-published that pairs healthy recipes with family stories and inspirational anecdotes. Fluellen also encouraged readers to pursue their passions with determination, despite the obstacles that they may encounter. There's a reason, he would say, that the root word for through is rough. He wrote, in an attempt to do something significant in your life, there will be roadblocks, detours, stop signs, gridlock, and bumpy roads, but the key is to stay on the course and view this as preparation for your true destiny. Fluellen is survived by his wife Kim, son Bryce, daughter Layla, son Nicholas, sister Jessica, and many loving relatives and friends. May he rest in peace.
Thank you. Are there any other adjourning motions, members? Seeing none, thank you, members. Go out and serve the city well. This meeting is adjourned.
Yeah, that's it, guys. All right, look at him, look at him, look at him. Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. All right, let's see here, guys. So we went from a 6-hour meeting. See, the very first one they did was 6 hours, right? So now we look at it, and an hour and a half, we're in, we're out. Now, granted, we didn't do any, any honoring of any groups. Usually they'll have a group or two of people in there, sometimes even 3, and they got to honor them and this and that and give them a plaque and pictures, all that fucking crap. And usually that'll take almost an hour, if not an hour or a little longer to do. And then you get into what normally the meat of it is. And see how they've done it, though? You see how they quieted Brock and Stacy, because you knew they were waiting on the phone. You knew they were. And all the other ones that were coming up, if you noticed, when they came back for the public comment, a bunch of them all said the same thing. Well, I'm here to talk to the agenda items because you didn't get us the first time. So that's either their AV guy being as dog shit as the rest of them, or it's them just making sure nobody talks. They saw Mr. Spindler in there. They could have gave him 1 minute to talk if they really cared about what he had to say. And I know they don't. It's obvious. They hate him. He's a thorn in their side. So why listen to him even for 1 minute? And, man, it's just dirty. It's just dirty the way they reconstructed the meeting like that. Look at that shit. Fun, huh? Fun, huh? Shit, yeah. I was looking to see if Joe's at the border. He is not live at the moment. Someone said he was, and he is not. I don't see him. Yep. Yeah, I don't see him. Okay. So we'll stay here for just a sec, guys, and then we'll be out. Remember, tonight we are live, guys. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tonight we'll be live for our normal Crime Wave party. So please adjust to your time zones. That should be fun. What's up, wise guy? How are you? Yeah, so I know, Joe, that's what they were saying, but apparently someone said that he had already gone live again at the border. So, and a few people said that Joe and Oreo were okay, thankfully. So, good to hear that it wasn't too bad. It's the best you can hope that they're not scratched up. You know what I mean? They're not hurt. That's the best thing. Cars can be replaced, right? Fucking camera can be replaced that rolled around. You know, that ain't no biggie. You can't replace Taco Joe, baby. There's only one Taco Joe, and you can't replace him. I don't know where Stanks went. Oh, wait, he's over there. Hold on. He's got a new little spot. Hold on, let's see. Let's get him in here. There he is. Oh, there he is. On the prowl. There he is. Look at him. Looking all crazy right now. Looks like an owl. Just weird. Oh, weird ass cat. Stanks cam. Yeah, I just don't put him on when he's not in here. There's really no point. That way you can see more of what's going on the screen. And I know you want to see him, so when he comes in, I always put him on. I ain't holding out on you. I ain't holding out on you, Billy. Yeah, no, we'll be on tonight, Todd. We shall be on tonight. But look at him, look at him, look at him. What's he doing over there? Is he stretching? What's he doing? Oh, crazy cat. Oh, cuckoo cat. He's getting into loaf mode. That's what it is. Time for loaf. Straight loaf. That's it. You watch your mouth. Better shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Yeah, he's on Kit Loaf. Kit Loaf. Oh, all right. I'll hit one more with you, and then we'll one more bag, and then I'll bag it up for the day. Well, not for the day, for the moment. Got some cards to pack up and stuff like that. But do that. Take care of all the other stuff. Old Stinkums won't have to eat soon enough, you know. Who's your daddy? Damon the Clash is free. This Friday, Saturday, this year, Sunday. Oh, that's cool, wise guy. You know, I gotta be honest. I don't even know if it's worth the trip. It's the worst race I've ever been to. It's just that it's too many cautions. Why? Because the track is too small. They wanted the paper clip, and they didn't get the paper clip. You know what I mean? It's just a caution after caution. They barely get up to speed. And how fast do they go? 120 maybe? Then they're coming into a hard braking turn. And then, that's all it is. They never get up to the speeds they should. You know, and now they're talking about fucking changing California. I mean, California was at least a fast track. You know, it's a speedway. It's not a super speedway like Talladega, but it's a speedway. So at least you saw the cars at high speeds, 190 miles an hour. So, I don't know, man. Come to Indy. Yeah, you know, I don't like Indy cars, though, man. They're faster, but they're not as fun. I want some rubbing in my racing. I mean, that's the whole thing. Doing fucking 200 and having somebody hit your bumper, telling you to get the fuck out of the way. That shit don't happen in IndyCar. Sure, they may be doing 222 or whatever, 219, whatever. Sure, I get it. I mean, we sat here and watched the F1 race, right? I mean, that's F1, not Indy, but you know what I mean. They're definitely both faster. We get that, but the racing's different. I mean, big deal. It's a big deal for one pass. Like, you're having passes all day long. You know, if you ask me. So let's do it.
Smoke.
Figure 8 school bus racing is funny. If you've never seen that, there's some pretty cool YouTube videos. They just ram each other. Clack! Take off half the bus. Oh, that shit is great. Yeah, there used to be a demolition derby at Saga Speedway out here. I went a few times as a kid with my other friend and his dad. And that was fun to watch. Demolition derbies are fun. You know, you see the cars get so wrecked. It's funny how some of them just they start up and then they literally go 10 feet and the car conks out. Because it's such a fucking jalopy, then they're stuck. They're already out. Oh, shit, yeah. Demolition derbies. I've never seen dirt racing, no. It'd be fun to go to a dirt track, I guess, and check that out. In fact, no, that's not true. I've seen dirt racing, but not professional. Because there was a weed show. Can't remember where it was, well east of here, maybe Riverside. I think it's Riverside. And it was a weed show. And then right next to it was a track where you could just walk over and check it out. So we went over there and burned a joint and we were watching the people race. But it was like, people like myself with a car they made. Wasn't anything professional, but still cool. Never seen an actual event. Sponsored like NASCAR, any kind of thing like that. So you agree then, Michael? See, that's what I'm saying. See, they're not even getting up to 120, like I said. So there you go. 80 to 90, back to 12. Then they bunch up because everybody's so close, because it's not really even about aerodynamics at that point. Then the cars get damaged, and the ones that are damaged are now a little slower. They always go to the end. It's just not fun. I mean, I love NASCAR. I do. It's just not fun. NASCAR's changed a whole lot in the last, 4 years. A whole lot. So it's sad to see what it's become, whether it on the track or off the track. Certainly isn't the NASCAR of old. The days of Cale Yarbrough and, Kenny Irwin and, and all the greats, of course, Dale Earnhardt and Ricky Rudd, and those days are gone, man. Seeing the old Skull Bandit car. Yeah, those days are done, son. Look at him. Richard Petty, the King. The King. You know what's crazy is you can buy his autographs pretty cheap. But I guess it's because he's such a nice guy still to this day. Apparently people tell me you can send him cards and he'll sign them and send them back. So that's the thing. He just signs too much. But for him to be the king of the sport and his autograph be so cheap, I bought a few cards because real low numbered ones. Because I figured, come on, he's the king, man. He's the king. So that's really the deal. Yeah, Martinsville, that's what they wanted. But Martinsville has a flow to it. The paperclip has a fucking flow to it. A lot of small tracks do. Dover, Bristol. Even Bristol. I mean, a fucking wreck fest. Nope, he's gone. He's gone. There we go. Old Cole Trickle. That movie was good. Fucking Ricky Bobby. I got something there. Hold on, I gotta have something.
Everything.
No. Damn. That ain't it. Hold on.
Shake and bake!
Does that feel good?
Yeah, it rhymes. They're both verbs. Awesome.
There you go. What was homeboy's name? It was Cole Nottenden? What was his name? What was John C. Reilly's character's name? It was Ricky Bobby and can't remember his name. Pretty much John T. Pretty much. I mean, that's what people are going to want it for. Or around that, you know, because kind of eBay really does kind of set the price. Nobody else sells more cards than them. People have alternative sites as well. And then a lot of them want to meet you up on Instagram and do it that way to cut everything out. There's a lot of scammers. I don't trust folks. Cal Noddington. It's Cal Noddington, right? Yeah. Was it Naughton? Cal Naughton? Oh, I thought it was Noddington. Okay. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Yeah, Chrome. I mean, fuck. Before all this shit happened, I was selling a lot of cards every month. I just haven't been listing. So when you don't list, they kind of put your listings towards the bottom, and the people that are listing, they kind of like boost them up top. So, yeah, I got to get back to getting my eye better so I can start to list more shit. Yeah, so even if you went to a card show, someone's going to say, well, what are the comps on the card? They're going to go look at eBay, what that card sold for. So if it sold for $100 in that condition, within the last week or two, they're going to expect it to be around that price or less. Usually they like to get it less, of course. Everybody loves a deal, right? Only 2 kids with no skis or snowboards. Oh, y'all going to smoke some weed, I bet. Y'all little bastards already started. I'm going to hop off, Jill. You go and enjoy Oreo. It's good to see that they're okay. Glad to hear it. Because like I said, cars can be replaced, but not them. Thank you, wise guy. Yeah, I got to feed Stinks soon here and get all that going. And I got to eat lunch and do some things before the show. Remember, we're on tonight at 8 o'clock tonight. Thank you guys so much for all you did for me today. Man, the donations were super impressive. I appreciate all you guys. Like I said, I will be back at 8. Much love to you all. Thank you guys for all the thumbs ups, the likes, the love, the camaraderie, and the all-around fun. So have a fantastic Tuesday, and I will see you on the next one tonight, 8 p.m.
Adios, turd nuggets.
There you go. I'm a going home.
Much love, y'all. See you soon.